Welcome to the Middleware Tech YouTube channel. You'll learn about REST Hello World Web Service Lab. All code examples used in the videos will be available on GitHub. Let's get started.
Using REST. Okay. So first of all, let's come to the setup side first. We try to do the setup that everyone is available to everyone. We'll use simple Tomcat only. So let's talk about the setup side first. So setup. So on the setup side, we want to say that first we are going to use that Eclipse with Tomcat. Fine. Okay, this is the first point. Second point is that since we are going to use REST web service using Jersey implementation, we're going to use this today. Okay, this one, Control C. So since you are using this Jersey implementation, so since we are talking about Jersey implementation, so we have to download the Jersey jar, right? So we need to download the Jersey jar. Download all Jersey jar. Control C, Control V, Jersey jar, right? So where is all those Jersey jars available? So go to your software. I have already downloaded these Jersey jars. This is the jar file, I think. See where it is. This one. Fine. So you can download this one. Right click. I'll suggest everyone to do in the system today. Then tomorrow it will helpful for everyone to the advanced one. So Jersey jars is this one. So we should download this Jersey jar. Fine. Control V. So if you download, it will come like this. If you download this, try to use this version, lesser version. And all the jars are available inside the leaf folder. So these are the jars we need to implement REST web service. Okay. So let's move with this. Fine. So that's it. These two things actually required when you go with an REST web service. So create the steps. So first step 1. I'm writing the steps so that can map with the last example. So first we have to create dynamic web project. Fine. Next, step 2. You have to add all the jar, right? Add all the jar inside lib folder. Done. Next, step 3. In the step 3, what we'll do is that we have to create one hello world class. Okay. Create hello world .java. Create hello world .java. And next, number 3, 4. Design web API or design RESTful web service. Design RESTful API using hello world. That means hello WORLD hello world. That means we want to create a hello world web service. Okay. So when you're creating a hello world web service, what we'll say, how we define it in case of RESTful API, we will always say that we're creating our own RESTful API to create this hello world web service, hello world REST web service. So we use always the term called we are designing a RESTful API using hello world, or we're creating our own RESTful API for hello world, something like that, right? Okay, next step 5. So when it is done, then we have to deploy it in the Tomcat server. Okay, deploy inside Tomcat server. We can use WebLogic also, since first initially let's start with Tomcat first. Then step 6, after deploy you have to test. When it is deployed, test with the SOAP UI. SOAP UI that we have downloaded last day. SOAP UI. So these are the things that you want to do, okay, for related to our Hello World using REST. We'll see that how Hello World, some small examples of Hello World, how it works, how the concept of resource-based UI work, and how the concept of HTTP word work. Let's get some idea, right? Using these steps, right? Using a lab. So let's do it. Okay. So first we'll create one dynamic web project. So we'll create one small dynamic web project. So let's come here and file, new, dynamic web project, and use the name like JAX-RS. JAX-RS, hello world, hello world, demo 6, fine. So I'm not going to use WebLogic, I'm going to use Tomcat server, right? Fine. So try to use lesser version as much as 2.5. Fine. Yes. Move next, and finish. So simple web application project we have created using REST web service. Sorry, simple web application project we have created using Eclipse. Now what we will do is that we have to add all the jar. You have to add all the jar inside the leaf folder, right? So get all the jars and add it here. The jars is available in software, WS job jar, and this Jersey lib. So copy all the jar and paste it inside the leaf folder. Copy all the jars and paste it inside this leaf folder. Paste. Right. So all the jars we have added that is required for REST implementation. Clear. Right. Okay. Okay. Next what we'll do is that okay, we've added all the jars. Now we have to create a hello world.java class, right? So let's create one hello world.java class. Go to src, right click, new class, assume package pphh, okay, and hello world.java, hello world, fine, and move finish. So we got this hello world.java class. Fine. Now here, when you've written some class, that means you should have some method that I want to access as a function in the web service, right? So what type of method? A very simple one. We'll take that. It will send an hello world message as a text, HTML or XML, something like that. So let's create one method. Public string get hello using text, hello with text, get hello with text. This is my method, right? And return, tell me what is the text message, return hello world, or hello world, done, fine. Okay, this is a simple method that is returning a string hello world, and return type is a string type, and return a text, right? So I can get the hello world as a text message. But you can add any text here, not only hello world. I can write here welcome to REST web service. Hello world message, right? Similarly, I can get the same message using a separate method. Using a separate method, I can get the same message like hello world with HTML. If you're getting it using HTML, so you can write inside an HTML tag, like h1. Starting with h1, then you should close with h1 slash h1, right? And then you can add another one method, get hello. As an XML also you can write. So if you're getting if you want to get this message as an XML type, so you should write that element inside an XML element. XML is a user-defined element, so you can define any user-defined element like hello. Okay, and you can starting an element and you can close an element. Yes, like this, right? So if you see here in this class hello world, we have three different methods. We have three different methods. First method is returning some text. Fine. Second method is returning an HTML. How to understand? We have used h1, HTML element as second method. And the third method we are using one of the method that is returning an XML. So we have three different methods that is returning three different format of message. We have three different methods that is returning three different format of message, right? Okay. Okay. Now we have to convert it as an REST API or REST web service. So if you want to convert it as a REST API or REST web service, then what I'll do. So in this example, what it is doing, whether I'm doing inserting, no, update, no, delete, no, select. So you are doing select. So already we know that for select, we need one of the HTTP verb that is called get. For select, we need one of the HTTP verb that is called get. So we are going to use one HTTP verb called get. How? @get, like this. @get. Right here also you can write @get. So when you're using this get means it is returning something, right? So I can use an HTTP verb like this, right? I can use an HTTP verb like this. This is one of the HTTP method, and I'm using this HTTP method or HTTP verb for this function to select or to return some text. Fine. Now if you see this, where is this get HTTP verb is defined in this inside Java exhaust ws.rs.get. So it is where in this is available inside the JAX RS package, right? Okay. Now the thing is that you should know some more annotations. We have to know some more annotations like right. So this is done. Now we have to know that when the request will come, how the request will come to an web service. How it will come web service. Now see when the request will come. Let's see the request is come client request. So this client request is coming. Fine. This client request will come. So to whom the client request will come? So who is going to handle the request inside? This is my provider, server side. Provider, that is server side. So in the server side, I'm going to create server side, right? Not client side. Whatever I'm doing here, what is this? This is server side, not client side. Server side. Client side will do later. Now you are doing server side. So when the request will come to the provider who is available in the server side, the request will come to the provider who is available in the server side. What he will do? He'll send a response, right? So who is going to handle the request? Who is going to handle the request in the provider? SOAP handler servlet or REST handler servlet? REST handler. We talked about last day, right? REST handler servlet. Who is going to handle the request in the provider side? So who is what is the name of the REST handler servlet? What is the name of the REST handler servlet in case of Jersey implementation? The name of the REST handler servlet in case of Jersey implementation. Its name is servlet container. Its name is servlet container. Servlet container. This is the name of the REST handler servlet in case of Jersey implementation. Okay, so when the request will come to the servlet first. Well, the servlet is defined where in the web.xml file. So first we have to define when you're going to design this. So first what you have to do, we have to define the path of servlet container inside web.xml file. Define the path of servlet container. Don't take that servlet of web application servlet. That is that servlet only, but this servlet that I'm writing, it's an inbuilt servlet that is used to handle request. So this is one type of REST handler servlet. In case of Jersey implementation, it's a predefined servlet. Okay, that its name is servlet container. So we have to define the path of servlet container inside web.xml file. Web.xml, because the request first come to the web.xml file in your project, right? In the web.xml file to the inbuilt servlet, then it will be forwarded to that particular class that you have defined. So here, when the request will come to this project, first the request will come to your REST handler servlet implementation that is provided by Jersey. So what is the REST handler servlet implementation provided by Jersey? Its path we have to provide here. Right, so let's provide the path of REST handler servlet provided by Jersey, right? Okay, so let's provide the path here. Yep. So already we know that we have to provide the servlet path. Servlet path means we have to provide this mapping servlet element, and then servlet mapping element. Servlet mapping element. Right. Okay. So now when are you going to use servlet element? Inside the servlet element, we have two element. One is called servlet name and servlet class, right? And in the mapping also you have to use what servlet name, URL pattern. That's it, done. So we have to do these things. We'll do one by one. So assume this is a servlet name. It's a logical name. Any name you can use it. Any name you can use here. REST servlet. And write like this. REST app also you can write as you write. Name of the servlet is REST app. So this name and this name should be same. This name and this name should be same. If this name is same, then if you want that, yes, the request will be forwarded to a particular link. You want the request to be forwarded to a particular link like demo. After this, you can allow anything else. So who is the actual inbuilt servlet for REST? So what is the name of the inbuilt servlet for REST for just implementation, right? So name is container servlet. So what is the path of the container servlet? We don't know, right? So do here and write here container servlet. Container servlet. Is it container servlet? Servlet container. Let container. Let me check what is the path. Just move the cursor. Not saying anything. Save it. Servlet container is not saying anything. There is one path for this com.sun.js, something like that. So I have already added all the jars, right? So it should come. Okay. Okay, so do one thing. You can write this path Control X and put it here. Control V. Save it. It should come. Control X. Jersey servlet container path. Yes, this is the path. But this is Sun implementation, right? Not GlassFace implementation. We're talking about Sun implementation of Jersey. So you have to take that. This is the path that you're talking about. com.sun.jersey. This is the path that you're talking about. com.sun.jersey SPI container server. It will come in the Eclipse also. It will come. It is not coming. That's why I just came here to copy this path. Copy. Come to your web.xml file. This is the path. Control V. com.sun.jersey.spi.container.servlet container TINER. That's it. This is the path of this Jersey implementation provided inbuilt servlet. Okay, he is actually the SOAP handler for the client request handler. As we know that there must be one servlet for each type of handler. Okay, in SOAP handler servlet. Fine. So web.xml file is done. I don't have to do anything else. So that you are talking about, define the path of the servlet container inside web.xml file, because when you're sending any request, any client request will come, that client request will first come to this web.xml file. Client request will first come to web.xml file. When it comes to web.xml file, it will go to this servlet container, that is the inbuilt servlet provided by your Jersey implementation. Right, from here it will be forwarded to your handler class that you have implemented with REST API. So that means from here the request will be forwarded to this hello world.java file. From here the request will be forwarded to hello world.java file. Now when it comes to this hello world.java file, how the request will be forwarded to this hello world.java file, you have to use some constant string. Based on that constant string, the request will forward to hello world.java file. So how we define that constant string? That constant string we define with the help of a annotation called @path. So this @path annotation, it will provide a constant string, means any string but specific to your application, user defined only. So you're doing hello world application, right? So HW, you can write hello world. This is a string name. So you can import path. So the request will first come to the web.xml file. From there, the request will forward it to this path. Fine. When it came here, that means it came into this class, hello world.java. But which method to call? This one, or this one, or this one? Which one method to call? So to identify a specific method, we have to use method level path variable. This path variable can be used in the class level as well as method level both. To identify a specific class, I am using @path with a string. Similarly, when the control come inside this class, which method to call? So to identify a specific method, we have to use path annotation in the method level. So I have to use path annotation in the method level @path. So I want the request will come into this method with a string. You can write hello world. Already I have used text, right? Text you can write, right? So the request will forward to this path, so that this method will fire get hello world with text. Okay, if the request is forwarded to this @path, and you can write here slash. Tell me, you can use it HTML. So the request will forwarded to this method. So the request will forwarded to this method, right? Right. Now after this, if I'm going to write here @path, @path, and here slash XML. So the request will forward to this. So here what I have used path annotation I have used to the class level, as well as I have used path annotation in the method level. Class level to identify a specific class with a particular user defined link, and the method level path annotation I have used to specify a particular method inside the class. Fine, it is done. Now the thing is that is not yet completed. The thing, we have to use another one annotation to identify what type of method it is, whether the method is going to consume a particular message or it is going to produce some message. Based on that, we should use another one annotation, and there, that annotation, you have to provide the type of text it is going to return, right? So so in this example, if you see, it is going to return some text. It is going to return some text. So we have to use one of the annotation called @produces. @produces, and here you have to define what type of output it is. That we have to define with the help of predefined string called media type dot text text plain, media type dot text plain, right? We have used text plain because it is returning a plain text, right? Okay, so so it is done. Okay, save it. Now here, is there anything wrong that is not correct? I can check. @produces and media type dot text plain is correct only. Attribute value is undefined for an annotation type @produces. Okay, import. Yes, it is done, right? So same like that, you have to define what type of text returned by this specific method that you can define once again @produces. So this annotation is very specifically to identify the return type of your method using an API defined string for REST web service, because it is going to return something. That's why using this annotation @produces. So if I'm going to write here like media type dot text plain, and here you have to use tell me what will use. It is an HTML, right? So HTML, you can write text underscore HTML. Yes. Okay. Now the third scenario, what type of return type? It is XML type. So if I want to send XML type, then you can use @produces. Okay, here you can use media type dot it is XML, right? So you can write here application underscore XML, application underscore XML. It's done, right? Okay. So if you see here, if you see here that this three method is returning three different types of format that you have defined with the help of three string of media type, right? Okay. Okay. Now why this error? No error should come. Can resolved indirectly reference .class files. Okay, possibility is it is going to point out to some other .class file. Okay, fine. So you can write here, right click, refactor, rename hello world demo. Okay, so in that case, I think it will not come. Right click, finish. So my class name is hello world demo. Okay. It should work. There is no error. It is pointing out to some other configure build path. It should work. Okay. Now this is hello world Java file is done. Whatever you should do it. Okay. Now next, what we'll do? These things are done. Now I have to deploy this web services. This is done. We have completed our design. using JAX RS API, and because we have used only one HTTP verbs at the rate get, because our operation is only select. Why at the rate produces? Because none of the method is going to consume some message, right? All are returning something. That's why at the rate produces annotation. And why at the rate path annotation? Path annotation is pointing out the flow, request flow, because first the request will come to the web.xml file. From there it will going to request will be forwarded to your class, and from the class the request will forwarded to a specific method. So how we can define, right? That's why you have used at the rate path annotation at the class level as well as in the method level, right? So let's see, let's deploy this in the server. So right click, run on server. I'm going to use a Tomcat server from now. So let's use this Tomcat server. This one, remove, finish. So the Tomcat server is starting. Okay. Now we have to see whether it is working or not. So when the first the request will come to this web.xml file, the request forwarded to /demo, right? So at the end of your URL, you have to write demo /. When the request is forwarded to a particular class, HW, so you have to, at the end of the URL, you have to write HW /. Now which method you want to fire? I want to fire this method text. So at the end of this URL, write text, enter. So it should come, but it is showing some exception. REST app 3.1 exception. It is saying error message exception. Jersey inject. There is some exception here in the error message. Let's see what is the error. Okay. Okay. So here, actually, the thing is that the problem is that it is not getting the actual path of. It is not. What is the error message? Error message is saying that. If you see what is the error message, it is saying that just see here what it is saying. Standard value invoke, it cannot invoke. Okay. What it cannot invoke? Error.java. So it is it cannot inject. So there is some problem that this it cannot work. The request came here, com.see, the request came to this servlet, but it cannot do the task. It cannot handle the task. From servlet cannot forward the request to a specific servlet. This servlet cannot forward the request to that specific handler, that is hello world demo. So how it will forward the request to that particular handler? It will forward the request to that particular handler with the help of it will forward the request to a particular handler with the help of, we have to actually here we have to provide the path of the handler where these web service is defined. Its path we have to define inside this web.xml file. How we can define its path inside web.xml file? Using init param. Here I have to use init param, and here inside init param we have to use param value and param name. We have to define the package path actually. Here param value and param name. So in the param value, we generally used one package path. Property is given in the error, right? com.sun.jersey.spi. This path will come. com.sun.jersey. Control C. Control V jersey dot. One attribute is the config. Come automatically. I mean config dot property dot packages. You remember this, or with practice it will come. So what does it mean is that it is, you are saying to this inbuilt container or SOAP handler servlet that my all the classes is available inside the package, and the name of the package is HH. Name of the package is HH. So we have to provide this path inside init param. Already you know, right, how init param work. So server config will initialize this, right? Okay. So save it, right? Okay, now clear. Okay, so it should work, I think so. So we've deployed it, text, certx through an exception. Just check where is the exception. So you have to select this, right click, run as run on server, move next, and finished. Okay, it's deployed. After deployment, you have to check the path. What is the path of this web protection file? Is /demo. So you have to use here demo slash hw slash test hw slash test. It's not with test, this will be text, right? Here you should have written this should be text, text. So now why it is not it is giving some error here. Okay, so it should work, txt. So we have used here same name, right? REST servlet. Yeah, I think it should work. Close all. Give me error. So what we'll do is that right click, new package, use some package called pp, finished, and just forward it. Right click, refresh, and this forward this inside this pp package. Let me check. It's correct only. Not going to use this HH package. So in the pp package it came. All APIs are correct only. Configure build path, Java build path, and here you want me to add all the external jars is there. Okay, add library. So we can here GRE system, move next. Okay, move finished. Duplicate entry, this remove it. Add library. This should not come 1 minute. Let me change that, or you can change it from here possibly. It is giving you to some Java compiler 1.7. It's correct only. Okay. com.sun.jersey SPI inject error. So let me check the spelling in your web.xml file. spelling mistake. And this is, we have used the corresponding package name as com.sun.jersey.spi. spi.container.servlet container. So this is the servlet name, and the param value we have used com.sun.jersey and .config.property, and packages, it's correct only, and the param value we can use pp package, so that request will be forwarded in the same path. Other this is okay, fine, right? Okay, so let me run 1 second. Right click, run as run on server, move next, and finished. So the request will be forwarded to first this link, right? Demo slash, then it will be forwarded to that particular class. So where is your class? The class is available here. HW we have used. HW and slash text. Yes, it came, right? So due to some library it cannot sense, that's why that error is coming. So David, so it is working fine, right? So the problem was that we have not given that package path inside init param. That's why that problem was coming, right? You have not given that package path inside init param. That's why. Okay, so the thing you have given servlet container for Jersey. Yes, there is a servlet container for Jersey implementation also, but we are using a Jersey implementation that is provided by Sun. Okay, so since you are using Jersey implements provided by Sun, that's why I'm not using this jar. This is correct only from Glassface. Okay, so that's you're using from Sun implementation provided jar. Okay, so it's working fine. So see at the end, if you see here, resource-based URI in the sense at the end of the string, if you write a particular text like HTML based on your input at the end of your string, you'll get the corresponding output. Based on your input at the end of your string, XML, you'll get the corresponding output, right? In a specific format, based on your requirement, right? So that is given here, right? So now the thing is that this is a simple hello world example, and we have done, we have created a REST API design for hello world, and we find here this is a Jersey implementation, Sun Jersey implementation, and based on that implementation, at the end of the URL, whatever the string you are going to add, based on that, one of the function gets executed and you get the corresponding output. Correct. So this is an Jersey implementation, Jersey provided hello world example with the help of get method, right? Okay, so let's get so this is the idea, right? This is how it works, right? Okay, so let's get some more input here. So I want everyone to execute on the other side this example. Check it should run for everyone in your individual system. This is a simple one. What the task we have done here, we have to follow these steps to execute this lab. So if I want to test it with the help of SOAP UI, then how we'll test it, right? So let's test it with the help of SOAP UI, how it look like. So let's test, can copy, and let me test with the help of SOAP UI. So let's open that SOAP UI where it is. This is SOAP UI. Actually, we are talking about SOAP UI, right? But it is a SOAP UI, but it has providing the option to test REST web service also. So to test and REST web service, different tools are there, different APIs are there, like Postman. is another tool how you can use test REST web service. Now, since we are using SOAP UI, so if you see in the SOAP UI on the top right side, REST option is there. So using that, you can test a REST web service also, right? So let's use this one. Control V. I want to test it, so click OK. If you want to generate the WADL, I already told you that for REST API we have WADL, right? For SOAP we have WSDL. For REST you have WADL. That file gets generated internally. I'll come in here after some time. So I'm going to test the REST web service. This is my REST web service URL and click OK. And if you see in the left side, you'll get some more idea here. In the left side, we have multiple HTTP verbs, right? So generally out you'll find lots of HTTP verbs is there. Out of this 4 HTTP verbs is a lot: get, post, put, and delete. These 4 generally used a lot. Other HTTP verbs is not used or very lessly used. Generally, 99% use is only these 4 HTTP verbs. That's why you talked about only these 4 HTTP verbs. Okay, fine. Now, what type of HTTP verbs we are going to use in our example? Get. So if I'm going to get, and here I have XML. So if I execute, you can see here it is returning an XML request. Right now, if I'm going to use, since our example is using get only, right? So at the end of this URL, use here HTML. You can see the HTML response. See here, and at the end, if you're going to write XML, and you can see that XML response, not this one. This is the XML response, right? Okay. So we can. So what if now here lots of things is that I'm coming one by one. I'm going to add now whatever the examples we have done. We have used only one HTTP verbs, and what we have done, we test the SOAP REST API for 3 different functions, right? Now the next step is that we have to know what are the other HTTP verbs, how I can use it. These are examples of get only, right? But others are post, put, and delete. That is also used a lot. So we should know about other HTTP verbs that is available. So we should get some more details about those HTTP verbs, right? And these jars, server side part we have implemented, correct? And it was working. We have done that example. And this is without Maven. Maven, I'll come. This is without Maven. Without Maven. Now I have to do the client side for this, right? So create client side part. Hello world, will do the client side first. Okay.
Yeah, hi Amit.
Yeah, yes, please.
I'm sorry to actually I joined by later. I half an hour late. Okay. So yesterday what you're facing, that one is resolved.
That one is still not giving some error. We'll try to resolve it at the end of the day. We'll try it.
I thought it's legal.
Okay. So we're moving with some other things step by step. We'll coming into that.
Okay. Yeah.
So the server side part we have done. The server side part we have done last day using Hello World, using REST. Now we're coming with the client side part. And the client side part, so the thing is that if you remember the REST web service that we have used Jersey implementation. Jersey implementation means that comes under JAX RS API specification. So if I want to go for client side implementation to access a particular Hello World web service, so let me check which Hello World examples we have done last day using REST. Using REST, the Hello World that we have done last day, right? Let me check that one. Using REST, the Hello World example that we have done last day. Is it this? No. So I think we have used this one. Yes, we have used this one. This hello world example. Jack Sarris hello world example. Using Maven? No, without Maven we have done. What we have done last day is that do the steps that if you see here, dynamic web project, add all the jars. Yes, we have added all the jars, the leaf folder. Fine. Then the hello world class we have created. If you see here, this is the hello world demo class. Fine. And these are the three classes we have used. Right. This is without Maven. Right. And if I execute this, I can. And in the controller, we have used the controller servlet as soap handler servlet as servlet container. So this soap handler servlet from servlet some servlet container. It's from provided by Jersey implementation. Right. So we have executed this. Let me execute it once again. Right click run as run on server. Here is the Tomcat server. Hello world. Finished. So how it will come? First, we should have the control on demo / demo. The request will come to this demo / then the request will come to our HW/text. So it will come to HW/text, and you can see the text is coming fine. Now, if I'm going to get XML, so we have to use /XML /XML. It is working fine, and /HTML, that is also working fine, right? That we have done last. Now this is the server side part. Now I should create the client side part using Jersey implementation. So you have to remember that if I'm going for a client side part, first requirement on the step one. First requirement is that we need to download one jar. We have to download jar. The name of the jar is Jersey client.jar. JERCY Jersey client.jar. So this jar you have to download and you have to attach the application. Then only you can go with this client implementation. That is the first requirement. Fine. So what are the steps if I want to write same like this steps? You can create a dynamic web project or you can create a core Java project. What I am going to do in the client? I wanted to create a consumer class. A consumer class who will consume this REST web service. That is the client, right? So the consumer class who is going to consume the web service, that class I have to create. So you can create a Java project. And inside a Java project, you can number 2 create test client dot CLI and test client dot Java. Right. I can create like this, right? Okay. So here we should know we should have two things in Jersey. Now I'm talking about client can be created differently for different implementation provider. In our case, the client is Jersey client. So for Jersey client, we have two important class. One is called client, and that is called web resource. Web resource. These two are the important things. We need them, client and web resource. And this too is available inside this Jersey client. .stat. So we need these two. So how we define generally, if you see this URL, from this URL, just I'm saying this here first. What is that URL? Let's see, assume this URL. Then how this client will going to work. Control C. Take example to understand how this client is actually working. Okay. So this is a client, right? Okay. Let's see, I'm talking about for this URL. For this URL, I wanted to create the client. If I want to create a client for this URL, how you can define? First, we have to use string. When you use the term called context URL. Context URL. If I'm going to use context URL, is this one. This complete thing is called context URL. Okay, this complete thing is called context. This one. Control C. This is called context URL. Control V. Fine. First, we have to define context URL. Then we have to talk about a string. We used another term called resource path. Resource path. So what is resource path? And since after context URL, you are going to use some class level annotation value, right? So what is the class level annotation value? That is called EMP. So /EMP. This is called resource path. You remember this because you have to use these things multiple times. So since we are doing first time, just I'm saying this is called resource path. Then we have another things that is called request path. String request path. So the request path is nothing but the end string. This select. Give me one example, then automatically you'll get for others. Control C. So this is Control V. It will be like this, right? So if I'm going to do it for, since we have done already hello world example, it is running. This one, Control C. So if you want to do this for hello world example, so Control V, then this /demo is till here. Till here, this comes under Control C under context URL. Control V. Then /HW. HW comes under resource path, and /HTML. /HTML that comes under request path. You can use this one also, since you have done this, right? So when you have created this, then after that, what have to do? You have to create the complete path. So we can write here a string URL equal to, tell me, add all the things, right? Control C, Control V plus resource path, Control C, Control V plus. I'll suggest everyone to do one from your side also. So Control C and Control V. Done. So we got this. Then here I have to create an object of client. Client C equal to client dot some method is there, something create create some method is there. Okay. And we have to get an object of web resource. Web resource R equal to C dot some resource. It will take some URL. This URL, string URL. So we have to get a web resource object, and from this web resource object, I have to get that result. That result I have to print in the console. So R dot something get is there. It is going to return it as an string. So that is string I have to use result. That is string I have to use inside that is string I have to use inside the result. A string result equal to this, and then print that. Dot out dot println. So same things I can access from the Java console. That's it. It should work. So here the Jersey API is providing this client and resource that we have to download separately, right? So create one Java class. It should work. Okay, right click, close all. Now we can write the JAX-RS Hello World Demo 6 client. JAX-RS Hello World Demo 6 client. So right click, new. I can create a simple dynamic web project or simple Java project. That also you can do it since it is already running. Use simple Java project in general. Project. Where it is simple Java project. Java project. Move next. Now we can write here JAX-RS Hello World. JAX-RS Hello World. Tell me demo 6. Fine. Right. So if we move next and finished. So it should work. Now it will work only when you add the jar. You have not added the jar. First requirement is that you have to add this jar, Jersey client.jar. So download this. I don't think it is here. Control C. Let me check whether it is there or not. Jersey client.jar. It is available inside the software package. Web service and Jersey client. Jersey client is there. This is the thing that we need. But let me check it is working or not. So it is already available here. You can download if you want. You can download it. So software, web service, jar, because this Jersey client is not available inside your these files. This is the actual library. Here you'll not get that Jersey client. It is there. Then it should work. Okay, so let's see. So what I'll do is that we'll connect that library with this. Right click, properties, Java build path, add this Jersey client jar. This is the Jersey client jar where it is the desktop. Go to desktop and here we have jar files. And here, where is in the software folder, right? So go inside this software folder. Here we have service, and this is my all the jars, and add this Jersey client. Let's see if it's working or not. Add it. So first point. Second point is we have to create a simple Java class test client. Right click, new class test client.java. Test client.java. This is available in the PP package. Okay, simple Java class. So when you created this test client, now we have to copy paste this code, right? It's already working. Just copy paste this code, copy, paste inside this client. Control V, right? Okay. Now this is an /HTML request path error or error. Okay, we'll see. Semicolon is missing, right? Semicolon. Now you have to install this jar that is provided by Jersey. This is the client. I think this is the create method is small letter, not capital. Okay, then I'm creating an object of web resource. So web resource is also part of Jersey client, and web resource R is a small letter. I think so. Yes, right. Then I'm getting a get. Get means I want to get the complete thing as in a string. So take it as in a string. Okay. So when I'm going to take a string dot class should work. Yes, I want to get all the things complete as in a string. Then I'm going to print it. It should work. Let me check it's working or not. Save this. Save it and right click, run as Java application. Java application, right? So it's giving error. So you have to see what are the error. It is saying class not found exception, com.sum. Some of the problem with this. So what I'll do is that add some jars. Right click, properties, add external jar. Here I have used, I think we have selected some of the jars here. Jar files, add these jars, open, okay, and right click, run as Java application. It should work. Yes, it is working. Just here. So if we add this, now there is lots of version wise these errors will change, so that what you have to do is that we have to add these 3 jars here. Not only client is required, but it is supported, it's connected with some other some dependency with some others. That's why you should provide these 3 jars. This one, there is some dependency, that's why those errors will come. So right click, rename, Control C, and Control V dot jar, and here also you can use dot jar, and this is another jar that you find here. Right click, rename, Control C, Control V dot jar. So there are the 3 jars that you have to add, because there is some dependency. That's why you should add these jars. Then you will not get the errors, right? And you'll get the output. Yes, it's working fine. If you want to change this output as text, save it. Right click, run as Java application. Yes, it's coming as a text. And if I'm going to use here XML, and get the details as an XML. Right click, run as Java application. Fine, it's working, right? So this is the client implementation, Jersey implementation. This is a Jersey client implementation that we're talking about here.